Hey, what's up, YouTube world? It's your boy Lucha, aka Matthew J. Brownlee, and I'm back with another Raw breakdown. That's right, I break down Raw. That's pretty much it. No reviews, none of that stuff where I go in depth with the wrestlings. Pretty much I talk about each show or each segment, each match, and I say I likes it or I don't likes it. That's pretty much how it goes. So this is my Raw review. It's the good, the bad, and the slapjack, the mace, the T-bar. Let's talk about it. So, Raw starts off, they do the dun dun dun, dun and then but it still gets all weird and disfigured, so it's like what that means. Retribution's in town. First, before I even mention Retribution, Jerry Lawler on commentary. Okay, so anyways, Retribution's in town. They pretty much talk about how they're signed to a contract now. Mia Yim, Mercedes Martinez, Donovan Dijakovic, Dio Madden, and Shane Thorne. We'll get to the names later. Those are the core five who have been signed to the deals. So I guess so Mia Yim was pretty much the same. Oh yeah, so just because you guys gave us a deal, a contract, means that's going to be mean that everybody's safe. That means we're just going to stop. No, this place is still corrupt and all this other stuff. Dijak was talking about that he's gonna they're gonna be more destructive. It's like they gave us a contract, means we could be more destructive on whoever we want. All of the stuff. Her business comes out. Her business goes into the ring. Retribution leaves. MVP was like, "Oh, see," it was like, "Yeah." It was like you dealing with all those baby securities. Like when real men come up to you, oh, now you want to back away. It was like, "Hey, I got an idea. How about you guys, Retribution takes on Hurt Business in tonight in the main event." All the minions of Retribution come up and they brawl and they whoop Hurt Business ass. I mean, at first, for a little bit, Hurt Business, it was getting in, but of course there's too many. There's like 50,000 of them, and they all whoop that ass of Hurt Business. I thought it was good. I think finally they're getting some stuff going with Retribution. They're finally getting the ball rolling with Retribution. I wish a little bit they went in more in depth with this contract. It's like you signed a contract, but clearly that wasn't enough. Who gave you the contract? Was it Scrap Iron? Was it Adam Pearce? Was it Vince McMahon who gave you the contract? And why are people still attacking you if you guys still are now under contract? Because before it was like you don't even have a contract. And what is this? Is it now a main roster contract? Because you guys already said before that you were in developmental, and we clearly see who you are. So we know you're Mia Yim. We know you're Mercedes Martinez. We know you're Dijak. We know you're Shane Strickland. We know who you are. We know you're Dio Madden, sort of. So we know who you are. So now what is it? It was like, okay, now that he's like, maybe you got a bigger contract. Now, were you fired somehow and then rehired? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't know. That part is a little weird, but I do like the Hurt Business in gangster mode, not afraid of Retribution. But on the same token, it's like Hurt Business, are you babyface or are you heels? What's going on? You're babyface or heel? Because beating up Retribution, challenging them, whooping their ass, that's babyface move. But then here you are doing attacks on Cedric, or not Cedric, Ricochet and Apollo Crews. That's not babyface move. So what are you? Are you good or you bad? Let us know what's going on around there. Next up is Garza and Andrade versus Murphy and Seth versus Dominic and Humberto. Winner faces Street Profits on at the pay-per-view this Sunday. The match was fine. It wasn't really a match. Humberto and Dominic got a little bit of stuff in there. Seth Rollins left, and that helped Angel Garza and Andrade win. I think this might be the time for Garza and Andrade to get those titles. If not, I don't really see the point of them. Like, I don't see why they are having another opportunity. Like, I wouldn't have suspected whatchamaface to win, Seth and Murphy, because they've been there, done that, and they have the thing going on. It would have been cool to see a new some with Humberto and Dominic. It would have been cool to see them. Well, definitely like Dominic mix it in there with newer guys that's not named Seth Rollins or Murphy. So that would have been cool, but my guess is that, and the reason why they're still doing this whole thing is they're probably waiting for Ray to get healed, to have his final blow off with Seth Rollins, and they can finally move on. They'll probably be a tag team and all this other stuff. But it's really weird that they're gonna do it again and not have them win, because like last week should have been there. All right, we fight, we don't care anymore, we're over it. I don't know, it's really weird. So I think that they're gonna win the titles on Sunday. Like, if not, like, what was the point of, like, you could have just gave that to Dominic and Humberto, just give them a good match, see how they gel as a team or whatever like that. Just for this one thing. But yeah, I don't know. The match was fine. The stuff that Murphy and Andrade were doing while they were in the ring, good stuff. I loved it. Seth Rollins leaving, was like, I got stuff to do, busy day, don't worry about it. That was all hilarious stuff. Next up was the KO show with Shane McMahon. He had his big security guard. They was doing some talking, whatever. This was cool. This was cool stuff. Shane brought out Tapu Koko, Tabalichi, Daba Kaba, Dabu Kaba, Dubois, which is kind of funny. I like the fact that KO and Shane McMahon just still hates each other no matter what. And that's one good thing about Kevin Owens is he always says he remembers. When he's talking about Seth Rollins, he hates Seth Rollins because of the thing that he always talks about. They always go back to the thing with him and Sammy. Every time they interact with each other, and every time him and Shane McMahon is together, he always they always throw shade at each other, because they even said it was we had a feud. I beat you. You got fired, but here you are, still here. He was like, but it is what it is. He talks about water under bridge, but he talks about when he was invited a couple of weeks ago that Tapu Lele got in this business, and then he comes out, and he was like, of course he comes out. It's like, I expect that. And then Kevin Owens slaps fire out of Tapu Bule, and then he brings out Braun Strowman, and then Aleister Black comes out and does nuts stuff too. Ugh, stupid. This was pretty much to promote the thing between Tapu Lisi and Braun Strowman. I guess to continue the feud between KO and Aleister Black, which if you were gonna do that, at least you're gonna do the nuts things to him, and then at least like hit him with a black mask or something. Like you just, and he still has the eye patch. Why do you still got the eye patch? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't like it. I hope they do something better with Alistair soon. Like get him in that U.S. title picture or something like that. That'd be great. Retribution is whipping more ass. He's beating up. They beating up Titus O'Neil. They beating up Humberto Carrillo. They're beating up whoever else is there. They're just tearing people up. We like those. Drew versus Keithley. Of course, I'm sorry. I'm looking now because handy dandy notebook. That's my thing. You already know. Drew versus Keithley. I put Drew versus Keithley Bundy because he has the King Kong Bundy singlet. This match was good stuff while it lasted. One problem I do have with this match, and definitely the main event, is like this is WWE's problem, and they used to not really have this problem. Like they have it more recent. Like even back in the day, they never really had this problem. When they have like big stars like to face each other, they keep doing these DQ finishes. Like let somebody win. Drew's the champion. If he beats Keithley, let him beat Keithley. He's the WWE champion. He's supposed to beat Keithley. That's your job to do, is beat Keithley. Unless there was a story about, so Keithley I think he's had 6 matches, and out of the 6 matches, 4 of them were DQ. All his losses were DQ losses. He had a win against Orton at Payback, and then I think he had like another win. No, and then he lost the next night, but he didn't get pinned. Seth got pinned in that triple threat match. So I wish if Drew was gonna win, let him win. If not, they could have told a story where Keithley keeps getting DQ'd. Why doesn't he go back to Scrap Iron? But it's like Adam Pearce, bro. Like I'm tired of keep getting, like every time I'm in a match, people keep interfering. I keep losing by disqualification. Help a brother out. Like why I should be in this title match. And he goes, hey, you're right. Let me talk to Vince. He talks to Vince later on and be like, hey, you're in this match. But they didn't even like acknowledge him in the match. Like it just changed from Drew and Keith to Drew and Orton again, back to Orton in the ambulance match. So why wasn't it like, why isn't he in this title picture? Why isn't he in the triple threat match? Because Keith keeps getting screwed 2 weeks, especially these 2 weeks in a row. Where if it was supposed to be Drew, he was supposed to be in the match. So why does he keeps getting screwed out of championship opportunities? But the match itself is fine. Orton attacks out of nowhere, still chairs. He punts Keithley. He takes the chair and puts it on Drew's skull, and then he comes back from commercial. He cuts a promo, which is a good promo. He pretty much talks about what happens when he was laying in the hospital. He was like, oh, this is how Edge must feel, how Big Show, Christian, Drew, this is how they must feel. And it reminded him how much he liked it and how much he's going to feel him to be a 14-time champion. Pretty much is what he said. Good promo, good stuff. I just wish that they give Keithley, if you're going to DQ Keith Lee, put him in the championship match. My only other thing that they could do with it is Randy Orton wins like his 14th championship at the Clash of Champions Gold Rush. It doesn't hurt Drew really because his neck or his skull has already been messed up. He gives him like an RKO, a punt kick, throw him in there. He doesn't get pinned or anything. He's already hurt. He's already been selling his injury that he's been selling for the past like month or so. Take him out, take Drew out for a couple months. Then have Randy Orton face Keith Lee at the next pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell. And then, of course, I think it's Survivor Series, so maybe him and Roman Reigns, which would be pretty interesting. Maybe they'll have Finn Balor in there. If Finn Balor's still NXT champion, maybe they'll have a triple threat like that, which be Randy Orton versus Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns. Yes, please. Yes, we like those. And then maybe he might do like a triple threat, or he could do something at TLC and then that will probably be when Drew McIntyre comes back. Have a championship rematch at Royal Rumble. Maybe that's when Edge returns, does his big return, probably cost Randy the match. Drew McIntyre becomes two-time champion, and then that gives you that Orton versus Edge match at Mania. That'd be cool. As for Keith Lee, even if he faces him at Hell in a Cell and he loses, this would be the perfect opportunity for him to he's like, all right, he lost. Throw him in that the U.S. title picture. Put him, Dijak, my boy Bobby Lashley, maybe Apollo Crews or whoever else, Seth Rollins. But you can make that mid card like great stuff. Like you could put good stuff in that mid card in there. Anyways, Asuka versus Billie Kay. Oh, there's an Asuka she had a interview, and Billie Kay interrupts, and she was saying, "Hey, Zelena was right. You out here worried about other people, and you're not giving, just giving everybody title matches." He was like, "Hey, how about Sarah? Hey, maybe she could get a title match, or maybe." And then Peyton Royce goes like, "Hey, maybe I can get one." And Billie was like, "Oh, sure, yeah, you too." And then Asuka was like, "Oh, you guys, you friends, amigas, friends us?" And she's like, "Well, just because we're not a tag team doesn't mean we can't still be friends. I support her and all that good stuff." And they were asking if they were ready for Zelena or Mickie James, and Asuka says, "I'm ready for one of you right now." I'm guessing it was Peyton Royce. So that was a match for later on. Zelena versus Mickie James. Mickie James cut a picture-to-picture. Good stuff. The match itself, it was a thing. It happened. Yeah, wasn't good. But Zelena, she hit a nice, I think a famouser or whatever her finisher was, Unprettier, something like that, to get the win. It is what it is. Zelena's gonna face Asuka and she's gonna lose. Backstage, Hurt Business, they beat up the Retribution minions, which is good because up until this point, Retribution, all forms of them, was beating up everybody, and it's cool that the Hurt Business, four of them, just badass beating up all the minions. That's good stuff. I have here Dolph versus Raul, so I guess I don't know if this is before or after, but yeah, they had the Raw Underground, of course. Dolph versus Raul, good stuff. Unfortunately, Raul lost, but he showed great effort, and Dolph won. Excellent, loved it. Cedric versus Apollo. MVP was there. He was talking about Retribution, and they turned his attention to Apollo, which Cedric also did. He was saying he doesn't care about his kids and all the other stuff. Apollo comes out with Cedric, or Apollo comes out with Ricochet. Ricochet's stone-faced mad at Apollo. He was like, "Look, we don't even care no more why you did it. Now you think you worried about when her business is beating you up. Now you got to deal with us because we're going to punch you dead in your face," and stuff like that. Match, of course, good stuff. Cedric gets rolled up from Apollo after Ricochet distracts him and stuff like that. He was getting in his face. He goes in and gets a roll up for the win. You protect Cedric because he's mad. It was a surprise roll up, but after, of course, Her Business music comes out. Everybody beats up Apollo and Ricochet, and they stand tall. Good stuff. You can't hate on that. And Apollo's gonna face Bobby Lashley for U.S. Championship. So that's good stuff that I like because after Lashley most likely beats Apollo, that will put maybe, depending on if they use Ali, which they should because Ali is freaking the greatest. But if they just use Apollo and Ricochet as a tag team because they're the ones who got their hearts broken by Cedric, you have them as a tag team against Cedric and Shelton Benjamin. You have them. Then you have Street Profits, which is a tag team. You could put those three in like the tag title picture. You have Angel Garza and Andrade, who can be tag team champions, whatever. So you got those four, and then you have, of course, for Retribution, you have Shane Thorne and Dio Madden, which is, so that's 5 solid tag teams right there that you can use. And then when Ray comes back, or when Ray's not injured, him and Dominic Mysterio, beautiful stuff. We love to see it. And then in the mid card, like you'd have Bobby Lashley, you have Dijak, you have Keithley, maybe Mustafa Ali if he comes from hiding, which would be great. Kevin Owens, Aleister Black. That'd be good stuff. Oh, Tapu Lele. If he starts showing his face around Raw, you use him. Excellent. And since Bobby Roode is coming back, Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler as a tag team too. Unless James Storm is coming, and then Beer Money, Bobby. Either one. Either way with Bobby Roode or Dolph Ziggler, or Bobby Roode and James Storm. We'll take either one of those. We like those. Next up, Rollins promo. Oh Lord Jesus. So when I saw this, I was like, I saw the papers in his hand. I was like, oh no, they're doing this again. Why? We did that with Eddie Guerrero. We already know Eddie Guerrero is the poppy. We got it already. And sure enough, Ray was talking about or Rollins was talking about a paternity or a DNA test, which I don't even know how he got. And he was talking about he was watching WWE. He was looking at WWE.com, which is hilarious because I don't think anybody looks at WWE.com. But he said he looks at it. He was like, well, looking at Ray and I'm looking at Dom. Looking at Ray, looking at Dom. I was like, something's not adding up. So he had to come out or whatever. And he was like, of course, Ray was like, Seth, really? Like, we've been through this like 20 years ago with Eddie Guerrero. We know he's Poppy. We know I'm not real daddy. We know it's already Eddie Guerrero. Like, can we relax with this already? And Seth was like, you're right. Well, maybe it's not Dom. Maybe it's Aaliyah. And then he's like, really? He's like, look, we already, like, me and my daughter already talked about it. We, like, don't even worry about it. She's naive. Like, she doesn't know, like, our business and stuff like that. And Aaliyah looked at him like he is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And then Ray looked at her, and she was like, and then she just walks away. Everybody walks away. So I was like, I didn't mean it for like this to happen. I just, so sorry. And he walks out, but he smiles. Pretty hilarious. I'm ready for this feud to end. But it's not going to end until Rey Mysterio is, not, it's not going to end until Rey Mysterio's injury is healed. But it was pretty hilarious. Rollins was great. But the premise was 2000 and what? 2002, I think. So that's the thing. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. The match lasted like a minute and a half. Riot was out there. Tag champs. Shayna Baszler chokes out Lana. Was going to give, I think, Liv a Samoan drop. Ruby said none of that, and then she gave Lana another Samoan drop, and that was it. Lana had Aaliyah goes back there. Aaliyah got mic skills. She's out here. She's about to be a WWE superstar. She's about to beat Lana in her first ever match. It's gonna be great. Next Retribution. Next thing, Riddick Moss beats Ivar. Good stuff. We like those. Or not Ivar. I put Ivar. I meant Eric. Yeah. I hope they keep Eric strong. It was a surprise hit. Like we ain't gonna be mad at that. It was a surprise. Like he was doing his thing, he was slamming, he was doing his thing, and then out of nowhere, Riddick Moss pops him. He lays him out, elbows, forearms. Riddick Moss wins. Good for Riddick Moss because he's raw in the ground, bred. He gets a win over a big Raw star, former Raw Tag Team Champion, after he got annihilated by Braun Strowman last week. Him and Dolph both got annihilated by Braun last week, and so they win. So that's good stuff. Hey, I wouldn't mind Dolph and hey, if maybe, just maybe, if we get a Bobby Lashley or a Bobby Roode and maybe James Storm tag team thing. We get a tag team from them, Beer Money 2.0. I wouldn't mind Dolph Ziggler and Riddick Moss as a tag team. They did pretty good, even though they got beat up by Braun. They did pretty good. I wasn't mad at it. Asuka versus Peyton Royce, decent stuff. Again, like I said before, no finish because we want to keep Asuka strong. We want to keep Peyton Royce strong. So what do? We have Zelena Vega come out and we interrupt the match. Why? Stop doing that. Asuka's champion. Let her win. Let her tap her out. Tap her out. It's okay. But whatever. The match was getting good. What they were doing was good stuff. It seems like Billie Kay might be her manager now, which would be okay. It'd be cool. Maybe they're not tag team, but maybe she manages Peyton Royce. Hey, we ain't mad at those. And it could be a thing where maybe she uses her for a little bit. Maybe tries to get her be Raw tag team or Raw Women's Champion or whatever like that. She helps her to get some sneaky wins or whatever like that. She'd be a cool manager. I don't know. I also should mention this, which I also liked. My girl Bianca Belair had a video package about with her and some guy that she was training. She was saying how she's the bestest, the toughest, the EST, and all the good stuff. And she had a video package. The guy was trying to do a whole bunch of stuff, and he couldn't do it. And Bianca was outshining him in literally everything, like running. With the big old tire, he couldn't lift the tire, and then she does it. She's like, boy, bye. I loved all of it. It was amazing. I loved it. She was doing pull-ups, and he couldn't do all the pull-ups, and she was still doing pull-ups. She was smiling. It was great. I loved every part of it. I love Bianca Belair. I hope next week they do something. I hope she goes like Mr. Perfect on us, and like she throws like a long Tom Brady-esque throw, and I hope she runs across the street and catches herself. That'd be amazing. She throws herself a fastball and she goes, runs, and she pitches it and she hits herself a home run. I hope they do ridiculous stuff with Bianca Belair because she's the best. I love her, and it's gonna be her and Asuka soon. I would love it if Nia Jackson, what's her face, dropped the titles. Her and Shayna dropped the titles, and you get that fatal four-way. You get Asuka, Bianca Belair, Shayna Baszler, and Nia Jax. I love it. Throw in Zelena Vega, throw in Peyton Royce. You getting yourself a solid division over there. You getting yourself a solid women's division without and then put Rhea Ripley in there too. Money. It's good stuff. Anyways, Braun Strowman versus Tapaluku. What's his face? Shane was trying to ask Braun and Kiki questions. They wasn't having it, and then the girl, some new girl, she was asking questions. She was pretty good. I liked her. She was asking some good. She was like, "Hey, what she was trying to say," and they answered her. So it's pretty good. I liked it. It was good stuff. She got her a little bit of personality. I respect it. Anyways, Braun versus Tapu Koko. Braun wins. It is what it is. So, Hurt Business versus Retributions, whose new names Slapjack, T-Bar, and Mace. Those are some colorful names. So, formerly known as Shane Strickland is now Slapjack. T-Bar is, I think T-Bar is Dio Madden, and Mace is Dijak. Dijak also cut his hair, and he looks like Connor from the Ascension. It was really weird. Of course, again, no finish. WWE, what is up with you with no finishes? You did it again with you did it with Keithley and Drew McIntyre. You did it with Asuka and Peyton Royce, and now you're doing it with Retribution and Hurt Business. Stop it. Stop doing that. Stop. Make finishes. What? Or even if you would have did that, why would you do? If this was the case, why didn't you just have Retribution beat up like somebody else? Have them against like next week's Raw. Have them against somebody else, or wait until whatchamacallit, Survivor Series or something like that. Why didn't you do that? Why would you? Anyways, yeah, Retribution, Dominion Retribution come out. They attack him again. The match itself was fine. Oh no, I lied. Sorry. What happened was DQ Dijak, I think, punched Bobby Lashley in the eye while he had Slapjack. Slapjack is such a good name. He had Slapjack in the full Nelson. I think Dijak, Mace Dijak punched him in the eye or knee or something like that, and then all Retribution come out, and then Drew McIntyre's music hit, and all the baby faces, they all fight, beat up everybody, big warfare, and then RKO out of nowhere. Yep, RKO out of nowhere, and that's how you win Raw. RKO out of nowhere. Yeah, I think the first part of Raw was good stuff. The second part of Raw was not good stuff. It was just I didn't like all the DQ finishes. Like, why you don't need to keep having DQ finishes. I think everything after that Rollins Mysterio thing, I think everything after that just went downhill. Like the first half, great stuff. I enjoyed the Retribution, like what they did in the beginning, and with Hurt Business, and they just start beating everybody up, and then Hurt Business comes back, and they started beating up all the Retribution. The stories of it was fine, and then it just went downhill, and all the matches weren't even finishes. That Kevin Owens thing was just convoluted. They hyped up the main event with Braun and Tapa. And that match, and it was like over in like a minute and a half. I don't know. But it is what it is. I'd probably give Raw a B, like a B. Like the first half was really, really good. The second half was it was like okay to trash. But that first half, that first hour and a half was really, really solid stuff. And there was some stuff throughout the ending that wasn't horrible, but it was just like, why? But yeah, I'm excited for Bianca Belair. Yeah, man, it's gonna be good stuff. I think Randy Orton is taking that title, man. I think he's gonna take that title. I think Asuka's gonna win. I don't see anybody beating her for that title anytime soon. Ruby and I think Ruby and what's her face? Oh, you know what they can do though? Yeah. So I think that Ruby and Ruby and Liv, they could win, and they can separate and put Shayna and Nia in that tag title. I mean, in the women's title picture, they'd be confirmed in that women's championship title picture, and then I can probably see the Mercedes Martinez and Mia Yim, as a tag team beating up, getting the women's tag team champion titles. Get them in there, You get Liv and Ruby. You get I guess Natty and Lana. Unfortunately, Peyton Royce and Billy Kay is not a thing anymore. But you could get those three in there. You could probably start. You could probably start something up good. Are there other tag teams? And then they can go to. I was gonna say SmackDown, but there ain't nobody. Who's on SmackDown? There are no teams on SmackDown, right? I guess NXT, because I don't think there's any women's tag teams on SmackDown, unless they do like Naomi and Tamina. That'd probably be like the only one that I can think of. Cause whatchamafate? Cause Nikki and Alexa really aren't a tag team anymore. So unless they keep them as a tag team, but I think the only tag team that would be, I guess technically could be Tamina and Naomi, and they're not even a tag team. So there's really no tag teams. So, but then NXT you got Casey and Kaden Carter. You have Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. Could have had Tegan Knox and my girl Candice LeRae, but you messed that one up. But yeah, so that could be good stuff. And then you put Dijak in the U.S. title picture. You have him in Keithley feud. You put Bobby Lashley in there. You could put just those three together. Oh, that's all good stuff. You just throw those three in there, and then you add in Mustafa Ali and/or Apollo Crews, and then you throw in a Kevin Owens. You throw in a Aleister Black. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. You throw in a Buddy Murphy, maybe throw him in there. We like all those situations. That's good stuff. And then you have Drew McIntyre, you have Randy Orton, Seth Rollins could go right back in that main event picture. Did I say Kevin Owens Kevin Owens is a main eventer. He could go in that main event picture too if he really wants to. Him and Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins are those ones that can like flop back and forth between the mid card and main event, and it wouldn't really matter. It was like, oh yeah, I can see them. So I mean, you have yourself some solid stuff that can go on, in the division. Get rid of the 24/7 title, bring up the cruiserweight title. Like when I was seeing like Murphy and Andrade, I don't think Murphy and Angel Garza and Ricochet, and you think about Ali. Man, you could put that cruiserweight title on them. Like you can put the cruiserweight title on some good stuff. If you have, and then yeah, you could put that cruiserweight title like on the map, like not just in NXT but on Raw too. That'd be good stuff. That's my own brain thinking. But yeah, that was it. That was Raw. What did you guys think? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.